Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It has been a bit since I've posted a video, and it's been even longer since I've recorded one. And that is largely because there has been a lot of very heavy stuff going on in the world. And honestly, creating beauty content just didn't feel important. I love to put on makeup and I love to feel good in that way. But when fighting for social injustice and when trying to educate yourself to be a better ally, when those things start taking a foothold in your life, like making videos about pretty things just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel important. And that's kind of where I've been for the last couple of weeks. So if you've been looking for an escape, I apologize that I haven't been able to provide that to you, but I haven't been able to escape it. I have been really... I've been trying to educate myself on how to be a better ally. I've been trying to have small and hopefully meaningful conversations with the people in my life so that we can as a nation move forward. Because in case you don't know, Black Lives Matter, and someone's ability to live a life unharassed and have, the same advantages as everyone else just doesn't seem like a debate to me. And this isn't a political stance, because for me there is nothing political about someone having someone having civil rights. This is, yeah. So, that has been weighing very heavily on my heart. I am not going to do a whole intro about what I have been doing. I'm going to include some resources below, as many other people have been. But just so that way, if you find yourself at this video and this is the one that prompts you into a little bit of action, which I hope it does, I would like to give you some places that you can start. So with that being said, the time, I'm actually several days late already. The time has come for my first update to my Harry Potter Project Pan. And if I'm being honest, this video has also been a little bit of a struggle to try to put together, because, again, someone's civil rights should not be violated. Whether that person is of a different skin color than you, of a different sexual orientation than you, or of a different, or they have a different way of expressing their gender identity. And to J.K. Rowling, I would just like to say, well, yes, my experience of my life has been shaped by me being a woman. As part of a group that is not oppressed, you and I don't get to decide how other people experience their lives. We don't get to make the decision for them. We don't get to tell them how they should and should not feel. And so, do better. So, yeah, so... Ugh. It's just, I don't want to be super serious about it, but also I think that this is important, that we understand that social justice is not debatable. It's not political, and it's something that we all have the responsibility to take onto ourselves and help. So, with that being said, Black Lives Matter, Trans Lives Matter, Black Trans Lives Matter, all of these things. So with that, I apologize for the minor intro rant, but back to my Harry Potter Project Pan. As I said, I really struggled with the idea of now having to tackle yet another social injustice going into this video. So I'm hopefully going to really briefly lay out my thoughts on this. The Harry Potter world brought me a lot of joy when I was younger. I loved the books. I immersed myself in this world of magic. It was not hugely transformative for me. It was not the first fantasy series that I ever read. It's also not been the last. But I'm a fan. I'm not a super fan, but I'm a fan. And while I don't want the actions of the author to dilute my love for this, I also can't separate her from it. So I am going to continue to do this Project Pan because the money I have spent on this in the past is already spent. What I can do is, going forward, not give her any more of my money if I don't want. And so, since all of these products are not Harry Potter products, they are only makeup products that that I was able to pull from my collection based upon these prompts, I'm going to allow myself to continue with this without a further thought. Hopefully. We'll see. Because every time I read her trans-exclusionary rhetoric, it pisses me off. I would like to say, and I heard someone else say this too, the Harry Potter community is bigger than J.K. Rowling. And I hope that while I'm still voting with my dollars, that I can continue to find myself a part of that community without supporting her specifically. So there's that. All right. So the Harry Potter Project Pan was created last year by Christina Chang, and this year she opened it up to all of her followers and subscribers, which was incredibly fun. And so this is what actually prompted me to start this channel just over a month ago. A month and 2 days ago from the day that I'm filming. I knew at the time that she posted her original series, I'm like, if she does this again, I want to be a part of it. Whether I'm following along at home, whether I decide to go crazy and film a video or an Instagram post or whatever it is I choose to do, I knew that I wanted to be a part of it in some way. So here I am. She gave us 4 prompts. This is a rolling project pan, so as you finish items or as you achieve your goals for each of the items, you do get to roll in something else. This will go until the end of the year. I think this goes until December 13th. So just in time for Christmas means I have 6 more months to actually accomplish some goals on these products. And here we go. The very first prompt was house pride. I think most people watching a Harry Potter Project Pan probably know this already, but just in case you don't, there are 4 houses within Hogwarts. So all of the student body is divided up amongst these 4 houses. They all have different mascots and they have different attributes that they find the most admirable, and they have different house colors and so on and so forth. And I am a Gryffindor. That is the house that Harry Potter and Ron and Hermione and all the main characters are a part of, but I didn't choose it. I did take my quiz and it told me that that's what I was. And then I took it again later and I was a Hufflepuff, and I'm okay with both of those. So if I manage to accomplish my goal with this particular product, I'll probably roll on something for Hufflepuff so I can represent both of my houses. This is my Rimmel Lasting Finish by Kate lipstick. It is in the shade 60. It is the color that I'm wearing on my lips because if I'm doing a Project Pan and I'm shooting a video for it, it probably makes sense for me to use all these products at least once. The goal on this is to finish it because, I mean, goodness, it's so little. Like, I mean, I should be able to finish this no problem in 6 months. What I've just discovered, though, is I don't wear red lipstick a lot. I've worn it a lot more recently than usual, but typically I'm kind of a nude lipstick girl, so I'm excited that now that I'm not in a show, I'm having a reason to wear some red lipstick. I love the color. I think it's very, very flattering for my skin tone, and I'm kind of digging wearing this a lot. So if by a lot I mean used it 4 times in the last month, I'm not convinced that that's the number. I've discovered that I'm really bad at keeping track of what I'm using and how often. So I've also included weights for each month, so that way I know that can't lie. Whether, if I keep track of the tallies, I could totally mess up. Like, I could totally skip a day. I can try to remember. I can add things in. Like, I'm just really bad at it. But the weight can't lie, unless, in case my crappy scale is calibrated badly, which might also be the case. But when I did my intro, this weighed 13.52 grams, and it currently weighs 13.41 grams. So I don't know how much of that is the package, but it does tell me that I've used some of this product. I'm pretty happy with that, and I really think that I can get this gone in a couple of months. Maybe not by next month. If I wore this every day, it'd be really fast. I went on that note, like I probably went a good couple weeks without putting any makeup on whatsoever, because I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I am hoping that for the next month I can be more consistent in actually just wearing makeup, which means that I don't feel like it's such a struggle to get into these products more. It's all a mess though. So that is my first update on my house pride. The second prompt was Peeves. Peeves is the poltergeist that lives at Hogwarts. He is in the books. He is in some of the video games. And his whole shtick is he is a mischief maker and he's kind of a pain, but he ends up being fairly important as a plot device in the books. So what the meaning of this particular prompt was, maybe something that, a product that you didn't love when you first got it, but you grew to love it, or it's become an important part of your makeup routine. And for that, I chose the BH Cosmetics Zodiac Capricorn palette. Which of course, again, have on my eyes today, because if I'm not going to wear it any other time, at least I can make sure I get it in one time. But according to my tallies, I've used this about 11 times over the last month, and seeing as I went a good bit without wearing makeup, that's a pretty big percentage of the times that I wore makeup. Again, I'll include some pictures up here so you can see what it looked like before and after. Son of a gun. All right. Well, last month, I'm so annoyed. Last month, my Zodiac Capricorn palette supposedly weighed in at 137.49 grams, and today it weighs in at 137.79 or 137.8. So it has gained half a gram, which is awesome. So I guess weights might lie because I know I have used it. I've used it about 11 times since then. My goal on this is to use it 40. So I'm hoping that if I can, again, kind of more consistently wear makeup this month, then I can end up rolling this one out. Not that I'm in a hurry to, I just, the whole point of the project plan is to use a bunch of stuff, and I can't do that if I'm only doing makeup 15 days a month. Okay, so the third prompt is the Mrs. Weasley Christmas sweater. So Mrs. Weasley, she is the mother of the Weasley gang. I don't know their exact order. I know Bill and Charlie are the two oldest that are not in school at all with the group. Fred and George, and then Ron and Ginny. She has this endearing motherly quality about her, and every year knits her children and the friends that she considers her children as well these adorable and awful Christmas sweaters with a monogram, so that way everyone knows whose is whose. It's such like a lovely, endearing character development for Molly. And I love that Christina picked this because it's like, I want a Mrs. Weasley Christmas sweater. And the point behind this particular prompt was she said something that just makes you feel good to wear. For me, Christmas sweaters and the love that goes into that is really a very warm, cozy kind of feeling. So I pick a product that just makes me feel comfort and relaxation and just something to that general effect, which is really hard to put into a makeup product, right? Because like this is all like beauty and it's all layering crap on your face. But the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, with its incredible beachy smell, with the warm bronzy tone of it just makes me feel cozy. I guess it's a bit of a stretch to get this out of a makeup product, but you know what I'm saying. This is, like I said, a really, really nice size pan, and this is all just stainage in the middle there, so that's all gone. So the butter bronzer, when I first did my check-in, weighed in at 54.88 grams. When I weighed it in today, it's 54.02. So this one's not gaining weight. Thanks. There's only supposed to be 11 grams of product in this to begin with, so I really feel like I've made some pretty good headway in this. My hope is that I can use this up by the end of the year, but I've actually already started to notice I've gotten a little bit of a tan, and that's not really for trying, but I've been running outside and I've been walking outside and I've been going to protests and all of these things, and that has, even with sunblock, that is darkening my skin, and that bronzer is a little bit too light for me to do anything for real. So I have to kind of evaluate if I want to continue on with it, or if I'm just going to start using it as like a transition shade for my eyes, or how I'm going to use it to try to get it out of my collection. So it will be interesting to see what ends up happening here, because yeah, it's like my skin tone. So transition eyes it is. The last prompt for our items today is the Extendable Ears. Extendable Ears were created by George and Fred Weasley. They are the sons of Mrs. Weasley and her Christmas sweaters, of course, but also they are the creators of Weasley's Wizarding that's a tongue twister. Weasley's Wizarding Wheezes, The Joke Shop, and apparently they made spy equipment. The Extendable Ears, I guess, are supposed to be a bit of a prank, but really they're just big ears on a long like string that you could then listen in on secret conversations. So it ended up being really helpful for a bunch of teenagers who were trying to spy on their adult counterparts in the Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, I think it was that. Trying to hear what all the grown-ups were getting into, and so they could be a part of it. That's a really long explanation for this prompt. It's because I didn't do it in the first video, but that's all right. The idea behind this is to pick a product that you purchased because you heard someone else talking about it. And as I mentioned in my first video, that's like most of the makeup that I own, because I had some, very little, but enough to do my makeup. And then I started watching beauty YouTube, and I bought all the things. So now I'm not buying anything, except for, like Allure boxes, because I gotta have something more fun and exciting coming into my life. What I chose for that specifically is the ColourPop Flexitarian. Look at the sheen. I'm going to talk about it every time because I love it. ColourPop Flexitarian Super Shock Cheek is the highlighter that's on my face today. I use it with a bit of a light hand, as I have discussed previously. Also, I am not sure if I'm going to hit my goal on this, because my goal is to hit pan, and With a cream product like this, you'd think that it'd be easy. It has, I guess, a bit of a dent in there. It's got a couple dents because sometimes I use it for my inner corner and I dig a brush into it. Don't dig, but I dip a brush into it. That might help a little bit as well, but I don't really need that much. When I weighed this at the intro, it was 27.88 grams. When I weighed it today, it's 27.83. 0.05 grams is not a whole heck of a lot, but also it's a highlighter. You're using little itty bitty amounts of it. So that's why my goal isn't to finish it. I'm just trying to get to a point where I can see the pan, even if it's like that little tiniest baby pan. I'll be so excited about it. And then I'll throw it across the room and never look at it again. Just kidding. and then I'll figure out something else that I bought because someone talked about it. That's all that I have for you today. This video in the series should hopefully be going up on July 13th if I can get myself in gear. I know that I was a little bit all over the place with my thoughts and what's going on, the fight for equality that I honestly still can't believe is even a thing that we have to talk about anymore, but I'm not going to not talk about it because it's important. And I've been all over the place. I know. And I apologize for that. My thoughts have honestly been a little bit scattered just in general over the last couple of weeks because it's heavy. But I hope that you found both some inspiration for living life and for escaping life in this, because it was good for me to talk about as well. I will put a link to the spreadsheet for the 100 participants in this. It's insane that it has blown up in this way and totally amazing. They're not all YouTubers. They're spread over Instagram and YouTube as well. So if you just want to see what everyone is doing, I highly encourage you to do that. If you are really good at keeping your tallies for your project pan and like tracking your usage, could you tell me how you do it? Because I'm the worst. I'm going to be working on this palette for 8 years because I won't remember to write down that I've touched it 40 times. In any case, thank you all so much for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and have a great day. Bye. So, by a lot, I mean, what was it? Well, I was just talking about how weights don't lie, but I don't know what I did. Okay, so the third prompt is the Mrs. Weasley Christmas sweater. And Mrs. Weasley, the mother of Ron and Ginny and Fred and George and Charlie and what the fuck is his name? Bill. That's who it is. Let's not say fuck in this video. Just so annoyed by that. Well, fine. The physician's formula. I didn't talk about the weights of that butter bronzer. We're gonna cut here. We're gonna go back to butter bronzer. And we'll see, I guess. How many times am I gonna do this on camera? When I look over here, it's because my mirror for my vanity, because I'm sitting at my makeup table, is over here, and I like to like gym the camera. But it's funny because I do the opposite, because like I'm talking to the camera, and then I gym the mirror. But if I was really in the office, I would talk to the mirror, so you'd be seeing me talk off camera, and then when someone says something that annoys me, I go. But instead, I do it all backwards. Whatever. So the butter bronzer, when I... What the hell's in my teeth? Come on now. So that is what it is.